Well, g'day. This is Iron Horse here, Ross Thatcher. I'm generally not one of those doomsayers who will come and make the doomsayer type videos. In fact, I should probably find something to hold the camera for me because I'm sick of freaking holding it. But, you know, every once in a while, you put a lot of pieces of a picture together and you start to see pictures. You put a lot of pieces of a puzzle together and you start to see the bigger picture. And it's something I've been doing all my life. And it doesn't please me much to be able to say this because I'm not a doomsayer. I'm no Nostradamus, despite my magnificent beard. I'm not one to do what they call predictive programming. You know, in fact, I try to do the opposite of predictive programming and say, every little thing is gonna be alright. No, don't worry about a thing, because we got lots of beer. And it's probably what you need to do before you jump into that spaceship and take off like they did in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You know, you need to have a few pints behind you. So every day I have a few just in case. I never thought of it like that before, but now that I have, I'm sticking with it. So here's the thing, like not that many, some years ago, I had to buy myself a second-hand car because the second-hand car that my dad sold me really cheap was shit itself. Had a timing chain, and you wouldn't know it, but timing chain shit itself. So basically you had to buy a car so I could go to work, so I could pay for the car and the fuel so I could go to work and pay for my food and accommodation so that I was rested in order to go to work. And you know the story. If you want to live in a house, you have to work so you can pay the rent, and you have to pay the rent so you can live in a house so you can go to work, and you have to have a vehicle, go to work, pay the fuel, get paid a salary so you can use that salary to pay for your accommodation and your clothing and your fuel and everything so you can go to work. So I bought a car and it got registered at the time. I'm trying to think now how many years back. It's not that many. It was probably before 2020. Yeah, it would have been, 2018, 2017, something like that. And all the number plates that were getting put on the vehicles at the time, because they had to, when you re-register an unregistered car that gets a new number plate, they all started with the letters CV, and then you have numbers, and then you have some other letters as well. 2, 2, and 2. So, but the number of vehicles that I saw going around with CV sort of made me a little bit suspicious, because I'm thinking, here is a little bit of predictive programming here, isn't there? It's like, and not that long after, I think it was 19, because that's what's called CV-19, COVID-19 came out as a major pandemic. And it was almost as though, you know, the CV was just sort of chucked into our minds and everything. And I'm just one of those ones to see the patterns, okay? So anyway, getting closer towards the future here, or the past, towards the present. I had another vehicle because that one served its purpose and I had to move. And when I re-registered another vehicle, the had Queensland plates, and I had to put a new engine in it and everything, and it took a fair bit of time. When I got that one, all the plates in this area, at least, I don't know where you live, but at least where I live, all the plates, including my own, starts with DD. And so at first I'm thinking, oh yeah, no, straight away. I had it nailed in seconds. It's like, holy fucking shit. Doomsday. 2025 and Doomsday sort of go hand in hand with one another. And they're just putting it on our number plates of our vehicles. And of course, people think I'm just fucking nuts. And actually, I've never done that to a nut, but anybody got a bag? Too salty. God. Sorry, I get distracted easily. I've got a mind that can't stay on track. But anyway, so yeah, then I seen a thing just 1 or 2 days ago where both Nostradamus and some other completely unrelated psychic lady, I can't think of her name off the top of my head because I'm not familiar with her at all, but some site found particular coincidences of both of them having doomsday type prophecies for August in 2025. And I thought, that's pretty interesting because so did I. And here we are in August 2025. So you know what I think? You know exactly what I think. Fuck it and have a beer. But I don't mean the bag of nuts. Crackies. You could get salt burn on your thing. Seriously though, I think we're going to walk straight through this. The powers that be have been playing with our minds for so long. The power resides within each and every one of us to just say no. I do not consent. That is not going to happen. There's no doomsday. They've played all their weather games. They played everything. They played every card. They're going to play the alien card, of course, because that's the one I think both of those other foreseers foresaw. There are no aliens. The only aliens that exist, the extraterrestrials, live beyond the Antarctic ice wall. They're actually got our backs. Not the fucking scumbags trying to rule the world. They've got our backs. They've been protecting us all this time. And all we have to do is attune to them and say, thank you. We do not accept, we do not consent to the powers that should not be pulling all this bullshit and wool over our eyes with every pandemic and scandemic and new fear of something or other. We do not consent. What we say is, I appreciate you having our backs, and we wish you would remove the scum from the surface so that we may live and breathe freely and easily. That is all. I love you.